There's been a lot of debate about whether or not the new Mazda Rx-8 is a sports car or a sports sedan of some sort. It does have a low-slung, rather coupe-like profile, but it also has these rear door panels. Now, the front doors need to be opened first, and the rear doors second using the inside door handles.
Now, what you notice, first of all, is the fact that there's no center column, or what's called a B-pillar. What that allows is a much wider space so the rear passengers can get in and out a whole lot easier. Now, I'm almost 6 feet tall, and I have plenty of headroom and legroom, just so long as the front seat isn't all the way back. Now, speaking of the front seat, that's where you want to be if you buy an Rx-8. First and foremost, the Rx-8 is a driver's car. Know-it-all.
Mazda's new Renesis rotary engine, which is under here someplace, is Mazda's first rotary to be sold in North America since the 1995 Rx-7. Now, even though it's been significantly redesigned to improve emissions and fuel economy, the basic Wankel rotary design is still the same. It's a rectangular rotor rotating in a chamber. Now, that's a much simpler design than the conventional piston engine.
It's a 1.3-liter engine, and it produces a whopping 247 horsepower at a very high 8,500 RPM. That's if you get the 6-speed manual transmission. If you opt for the 4-speed automatic, you really sacrifice horsepower. You chop 40 right off the top, and you get 207. And fuel consumption is also an issue for this vehicle. It's quite thirsty, especially for such a small displacement engine.
Like earlier Mazda rotaries, this one also has a buzzy sound, and it just seems to love to rev in that sweet 5,000 to 7,000 RPM range, and it doesn't seem to get much louder as the revs increase. The Rx-8 is so balanced in the corners. I just can't believe how stable and controlled it feels. Now, the steering is sharp, maybe a bit sensitive, but man, overall, I can't believe how much fun I'm having driving this car. Well, Zach, this was every bit as much fun to drive as my Rx-7s.
Well, how's this different from the old cars?
The old Rx-7s used to have a constant rotary hum, but this cabin is much quieter.
You know what, Dagmar? This is not a passenger car. This is a driver's car. My turn. The engine performs best at high revs because that's where all the power is. This is a quick car, too, 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. The 6-speed manual close ratio gearbox is really a delight, a lot of fun to use. The brakes are phenomenal, and the interior isn't that bad if you're of average height, but if you're a really tall person, it might be a bit of a squeeze.
The new Rx-8 tries to be a lot of things to a lot of people. It's got a rear seat, a very usable trunk, and it's a sports car to boot, which is a great compromise for a lot of people. Zach, what did you think?
Well, the first thing, Mazda's back with a rotary-powered sports car. A lot of people are happy about that, and a lot more people are going to be able to afford this car. The previous model left off at a very high price. Mazda's addressed that, and that's a good thing. Also, I like the long list of standard features on this vehicle. My main dislike, this barn door thing. I'm not crazy about it. Getting in and out of the back seat. You know what? For me, a sports car is 2 seats, maybe a little parcel shelf in the back, but I'm a bit of a purist there. Dagmar?
I am thrilled with the fact that the rotary engine is back. The Rx-8 is no disappointment from what I'm used to in the Rx-7s. I love the way this car performs, lots of spunk under the hood. It corners like it's on rails, and the interior, they've done a great job with that. It's a high level of finish. I also love the styling on the outside. No matter what angle I approach it from, it looks a bit like the Batmobile to me. I really like what they've done with that. I can't find a downside to the Rx-8. I like everything about it, so I'm going to give it a 5. Zach?
Well, I'm also going to give it a 5, even though I said I don't like this barn door thing. That's really subjective, isn't it? It's really a great performer at a great price. 5 for me, 5 for Dagmar. That makes 10.